Let's see. Let's get to our list. The list comes from Fender in our Discord, and it is in response to the Luka trade to the Lakers, and it is top 3 most lopsided deals in history. So that can be sports, that can be the real world, that can be whatever. Lopsided deals, transactions.
I'm gonna say the real world
trades. Yeah, sports aren't real.
Road Rules Challenge.
Yeah, where's Puck?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Road
Where's
Rules
the
Challenge.
slap around the world?
I know one of. Yeah, I think that guy. I think someone from that real world Road Rules Challenge is there, like Secretary of Transportation now. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, one of them's talks to the President of the United States on his podcast. So.
Well, Theo.
And he will be at Matthew 9 Arena here in March or something like that. I can't remember. I don't remember the date, but they are promoting it.
Theo Vaughn's confusing one.
Yes.
No, he is.
Yes.
Before we get to the list,
yes,
it's confusing because you'll see stuff where that's really problematic.
Uh-huh.
And then 2 weeks ago, it's a whole thing where someone calls into a show and says they're transgender and really having a problem with their identity. And he just sits there and talks to them for 3 minutes. Man, I really hope you get. That's awesome, man. Thank you for being so open. He's a weird one.
He just had a woman on to talk about the porn industry and Pornhub and stuff, and how they just goes unchecked, and there's sexually trafficked women and underage children pornography on there, and this woman's
which side is that?
It was the anti side of it.
No, which site? Which site?
Oh, I just saw it on. It's whatever his podcast is. I don't really know what it is. Okay. He had this activist on with him. It's because
I would boycott UJizz.com if that's what you said it was.
I mean, that was part of the umbrella. The woman said that one company owns all the porn sites, pretty much. I saw a little 2-minute clip of it. But I digress. Continue.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I learned something today. So, top 3 most lopsided deals, trades, transactions, what have you, in the history of the world. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Guess what? I went all baseball because I don't care about other sports or to look up
or the world.
Or the world. I don't care about the world. So my number 3, Bartolo Colon getting dealt for Grady Sizemore, Cliff Lee, and Brandon Phillips. That was, I believe, the Expos still? I think it was Expos and Indians. Well, still call them because at that time, Indians trade.
There have been some tremendously bad trades in the history of sports, and getting rid of Bartolo is wild.
It was the other end. They got 3 All-Stars for the trade for aging, starting to age. Well, he pitched another decade, but he was.
No, it's my opinion. No, I think you're wrong, Ski. I think it's my opinion. You trade the house for Bartolo Colon in any instance.
In any instance,
he's the greatest player in the history of Earth. So my number 3 is France. Selling the Louisiana Purchase to the United States. It was less than 3 cents an acre. So, which I don't know what that translates to nowadays, but yeah.
Say that in Ed Ogeron voice.
I don't know if I could do it. It's a lot. It's a lot like Alex Jones, right?
Except you can't. Yeah. I do not want to understand a word you say, though.
Louisiana. I don't know. I haven't heard him talk in such a long time, so I got nothing.
Just go straight to the guy from The Water Boy. That's all you got to do.
The Water Boy? What Water Boy? Hey, King, what's your number 3?
My number 3 in 1890. Cy Young was traded for a suit.
A suit, gotta love it. But it was like a really nice suit, yeah.
It cost a nickel back then.
A shiny.
That was a nice one.
That was a lot of money back then, boys.
I say, it had stripes and everything. Real dapper.
Back when the spot was the spot.
Back when men were men, you could trade a man for a suit.
Speaking of men, Cheryl.
All right, threes from the chat. Let's see. WCP says Kareem to the Lakers. Yeah, Kareem to the Lakers is actually my number 2. I'll get to details of that in a second. Booble says racist Hulk Hogan to WCW.
Brother. That was a great trade, brother.
And Nuttian says Herschel Walker to the Vikings. Yeah, it's another bad one. All right, what's your 2 ski?
My number 2, this is, this one hits different because 1, I get a shit on the Mariners, and 2, it helped the Red Sox. Red Sox traded Heathcliff Slocum to the Mariners for Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek.
Woo!
I mean, who doesn't need that fucking 7th inning guy like Heathcliff Slocum? I mean, he's a game changer, really.
For a rock of a catcher for 20 years.
For a fucking a catcher and a pitcher. Who needs them?
Exactly. Wild. All right, yeah, like I said, my number 2 is Kareem getting traded to the Lakers. Basically, he just didn't want to be in Milwaukee anymore, and so they were sort of forced to.
So is so he's the original Jimmy Butler, is what you're saying?
Basically, yes.
Sure.
So they got Kareem and Walt Wesley for Elmore Smith, Brian Winters, Dave Myers, Junior Bridgman, and Cash. All right. I don't know who any of those other people are. I know Kareem was pretty good, though.
And how much cash, though, is the question.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably like $80.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my number 2. How about you, King?
My number 2, Robert Parrish and
was the number 3 pick.
Yeah, McHale for Joe Barry
McHale.
Carroll and whatever. I forgot their names. I forgot the McHale. Forgot his name.
Yes, pretty much Parrish McHale for.
Yeah, I really petered out on that one. I thought I had that one locked and loaded, but sorry.
Imagine though, 2 guys who were just Hall of Famers, and
they're up in the rafters at the fucking God.
They are up in the rafters, and they're Hall of Famers, and they won 1 billion titles because of that deal. And
what was nicknamed the Chief? It's still wild to me.
Hey kids, let me tell you something. Come here, kid. 2s from the chat. WCP says Russell Wilson to the Broncos. Oof. Booble says Ricky Williams to the Saints.
That was for a lot of picks, wasn't it?
For every draft pick ever, he says.
5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Every first rounder and second rounder for 5 years. Crazy shit.
By the way, I should mention, honorable mention is the Niners trading all those things for Trey Lance. When they could have gotten, Jamar Chase or, Panay or, a bunch of different guys who were much better than Trey Lance. And then 2 from Nuttian, Jermaine O'Neal and Joe Klein for Dale Davis.
Double D, baby. Yeah. Rip City.
What a dumb trade.
Those young 6'11" guys, they never pan out. Get rid of them.
No, Dale Davis did have a tattoo that said war. That was cool.
Yeah.
Just war.
He was really muscly.
You've seen these guys kind of trying to be fucking tough guys in the NBA the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Was it Stewart and there was some other guy. They were John
Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart's a joke.
Yeah, it's you want to see a real tough guy? Fucking Dale Davis.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would kick your ass.
That's a tough guy.
That's a tough man. Yep. That's what the Blazers were going for. Yep, they needed that toughness.
Always need that grit.
Can you imagine Jermaine O'Neal and Rasheed Wallace play? They would have stretched the floor, but before anyone knew the bigs could stretch the floor.
Yeah, what stretched the floor?
If they had just waited 2 months and just not traded him,
Yep.
They started the Lakers dynasty. Terrible.
Woof. All right. What's your one? Ski.
Me?
My number one. It's two trades that happened. One was those smart thinking Dodgers. They traded Pedro Martinez to the Expos for Delino DeShields. And the Expos
DeShields was wasn't DeShields like an all-star though? Like
I think he probably had one all-star year his whole career.
All right.
And then because the Expos didn't have any fucking money, they had to deal Pedro right after that, and they dealt him into the Sox for Carl Pavano and Tony Armas Jr. So thank you, Dodgers.
Don't rip on Carl Pavano. I mean,
I will very much rip on Carl Pavano.
Yeah, what? You know his family or something, or
I know. I'm just saying, people were scared of Carl Pavano when he was a Yankee.
A lot of people are saying Carl Pavano very scary.
He was the first Derek Jeter of dating before Derek Jeter. That's all I'm saying.
I don't see a problem with it. My number one,
pussy, right? That's what I always say.
my number one is a group of scientists selling the patent for insulin to the University of Toronto for $1. The idea
Pretty bad.
The idea was, hey, it should be free. Here it is for $1. Now distribute it to everybody for free. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Perfect. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Fuck's sake, you're dumb. You guys are dumb. I mean, they probably like
try to capitalize on that, right?
it's
And
the
make a lot
University of
money.
Toronto, like it's Canada. They're trustworthy, right? Like, yeah, come on, no, they don't want money. Yeah, all right.
Throw some more tariffs on them.
Exactly. All right, what's your one, King?
My number one, in 2017, the Buffalo Bills traded the number 10 pick for the other team's number 27 pick, their number 91 pick, and a first-round pick the next year in 2018. The 10 pick that they traded to the Kansas City Chiefs ended up being Patrick Mahomes.
What did the Bills use their picks for?
Some cornerback and no one else.
Not Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
You want to know what? It doesn't matter. You want to know? We could have said, oh, they turned all those 3 picks into 3 first for all pro players. You want to know what? Tune in January to see if that works out for the Bills. Spoiler, it doesn't.
It never does. Yep. All right, one's from the chat. Nuttians. Ron Wayne sold 10% of his share of Apple for $800 in 1976,
God.
which is worth about $4 billion now. Ugh. Ugh. That sucks.
But
Maybe
I hope he's passed away.
Maybe
past.
he turned that $800 into $4 billion. You never know.
Maybe.
Maybe
he put that $800 into Microsoft. I don't know.
Maybe he bought $800 worth of cocaine and it was worth it.
Yeah, fair enough. Which, by the way, watch Saturday Night, which is our movie on Sunday. Like, speaking of cocaine. Number one from WCP, Lakers trading Vlade for Kobe.
Wasn't that one of the ones where Kobe kind of forced the hand of being traded?
No, he got traded
I
like
think it was
the draft day, right?
Yeah, wasn't he one of those ones saying like I'm not going to play for you, so
I don't
trade
think so.
me? He wasn't.
I
that?
don't think so.
No.
I mean, I think they knew he wanted to be a Laker.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more why they went after him. But he didn't Stevie franchise.
He didn't Stevie franchise it. All right.
And
I thought there was.
And Vlade was like a serviceable center at the time when centers mattered. So like, Wow.
Centers are mattering again.
Wow.
How many battles between Vlade and like Ronnie Cycli did you watch? Man, the battles.
Absolute battles.
Rick Smits, God, bring back the bigs,
Yeah.
please.
Rick Smith.
Oh, the Duncan Dutchman.
Duncan Dutchman, please.
Who's it? What's the guy for Utah's name again? I can't remember. I'm blanking on it.
Mark
Eaton.
Eaton.
Mark Eaton. That was it. Yeah.
Greg Ostertag.
The redheaded guy.
Mark Eaton and
Yeah.
Greg Ostertag. Yeah, exactly. I think Ostertag was the actual
Bring
one
back-
who was decent.
No, Mark Eaton was a block machine.
He was like 7'3". He was massive.
Yeah.
He was just huge,
Yeah,
but he
was
wasn't
massive.
good. He wasn't like good at basketball though.
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One from Booble, Dan Vogelback and Paul Blackburn for Mike Montgomery, who got the save in Game 7 for the Cubs.
Those are names for sure.
I have no idea who those people are. Yeah.
Vogelback's
If you
that guy.
gave me a Vogel song, I would know. But Vogelback, I don't know.
Vogelback's that guy that he took over for Matt Stairs. He weighs like 350. He's just like a stocky left-handed hitter. Yeah.
I remember a Matt Stairs.
Guy's a professional hitter.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
Yeah,
He was.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, some honorable mentions. WCP says Watson to the Browns, Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
Wrong button.
I'm mad at it. That fits.
Oops.
Louisiana Purchase, AB to the Raiders, and the Bears trading up for Trubisky. Yeah. Sort of, yeah. And then honorable mention from Booble, Lieutenant Dan and Forrest investing in Apple. Why is that a bad trade? I don't get it.
I thought Lieutenant Dan traded in his legs for fucking freedom. Is what he did.
Talking about freedom.
For your freedom, Booble.
For your fucking freedom, but yeah.
Jesus, man. Why don't you show some respect? I had an honorable mention too. The Dutch West India Company buying Manhattan from the Native Americans for $24. That's a bad trade. It's a bad trade.
How did they get that money to buy that? They dealt in slaves.
Yes, they did. Dutch West India Company. Anytime you mention Dutch West or Dutch East, bad things are usually afoot.
It's very on topic with Trump winning. The only good line from Deuce Bigelow, I think it was European Gigolo, Eddie Griffin says, we as black men owe the Dutch a lot. And someone says, well, the Dutch started the slave trade.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's Eddie Griffin when you need him? How's he
just
doing?
brought him up.
I put something in the Discord that I stumbled upon Eddie Griffin's stand-up, and he's very locked in now on Shannon Sharp being gay.
Huh.
It's a weird. Yeah. I was like, oh, 3 of these in a row of
He's like
Shannon Sharp being gay.
He's like kind of famously not. Like
Well, not according to Eddie.
He could be bi.
I don't know.
He could be bi. I don't know. Like,
I strike that from the record.
are you, King,
How would I know
saying
that?
Sharp is a homosexual? Are you saying
Eddie Griffin's whole thing was he's got a giant penis and wears tight pants. He's gay.
Hey, man.
I don't know, man. Tight pants.
Everybody in the NFL's, head digging their mouth. I'm Alex Jones.
The thing about tight pants is the thing they don't want you to know is it's like Yellow 5 that they put in the popular soda pop called Mountain Dew. Tight pants in Yellow 5. They shake your testicles. Carol.
I love, for one, Yellow 5. I'm a big Yellow 5 guy. So, whatever.
Your partners probably disagree, Cheryl.
That's probably why you have diabetes.
Wow.
Cheryl.
Wow.
From Natien, by the way, before we head out, Erica's number one and only that she's still sad about is Braves trading for Matt Olson, forcing Freddie Freeman to sign with the Dodgers instead of re-signing with the Braves.
Ball knower. Ball knower. Ball knower. Ball
This
knower.
lady knows
Erica,
ball.
this, you know.
Yes. Also, that sucked for me because I was an A's fan, and Matt Olson was really good, and classic A's just fucking trading him away for like nothing. So that was. I should. By the way, like my 3, 2, and 1 should be just A's deals, but you know, most of the time it's just them not signing people. Yeah. So trading for Jeff Samardzija. Yeah. And Lester. No, trading for Lester was a bad one. Lester was awful in the half year he was with Oakland.